is Lance Collins, and welcome to Slightly Used News. Where clothes are optional, I have option to keep mine on, and we discuss the top news from the Edge Media Network that was fresh a few days ago. Kind of like any advice coming from the CDC these days. Last week, you could get COVID-19 by checking your mail. This week, you can head to Costco and lick the stockroom floor, and the scariest thing you're likely to pick up is a greasy 17-year-old doing coke between the massive pallets of overstocked toilet paper. We start this week with a local story out of the Bay Area, where the coronavirus has resulted in a catastrophic cultural loss to the city and its LGBT community. The Stud, San Francisco's legendary venue for drag, leather, and excessively dim lighting, is closing due to the pandemic. Or so everyone thought on Wednesday night after the bar sent out a press release. But by Thursday, the co-owner and RuPaul's Drag Race alum, Honey Mahogany, announced that the bar intends to reopen in a new location when the current crisis is over. Drag star Vivian Forevermore then chimed in with, quote, "It's painful and sad, and there's a lot of feelings about it. Many beautiful things have happened there." We are in no way implying that this is what Vivian was talking about, or that this type of activity ever happened at the Stud. In a weirdly related story, researchers have discovered that if you want to walk away from a bar fight with all of your teeth, become a bear. I'm sorry, it says grow a beard. My bad. The researchers set out to prove that since the jaw is the most commonly fractured bone in fistfights, it stands to reason that men, or women, should grow a furry shield to protect themselves. To test the theory, the researchers dropped 10-pound metal weights attached to anvils onto models with a human jaw. Oh, I'm sorry, it's models of a human jaw. That is a very different story. The results were predictable. The beards better protected the models. This led the researchers to also suggest that this form of furry cushion could explain, quote, why facial hair is associated with high masculinity, social dominance, and behavioral aggressiveness. Which is kind of like saying spiky blonde hair explains why twinks are a bunch of dumb bottoms. It's self-evident. In national news this week, Republicans and Democrats are at it again, like two naked children throwing mud at Uncle Rob in the bathtub. Awkward. President Donald Trump, happens often, disclosed this week that he is taking anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine as a prophylactic against the coronavirus. He gave this elegantly crafted statement about the way the drug was vetted.
Great studies came out of Italy on hydroxy. You know what I'm talking about, right? Great studies came out, and the combination of the three. But we had some great studies come out. Italy, France, Spain, ourselves, many, many doxes.
In fact, a study of 96,000 coronavirus patients given the drug showed that hydroxychloroquine doesn't really help patients. In fact, the study found they were at higher risk for death via heart arrhythmia. You could, in fact, say that it actually killed more people than it helped, usually in sudden and dramatic incidents of cardiac death. Please. Shortly thereafter, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi told CNN's Anderson Cooper that she's concerned about the president's prescription, given his, quote, age group and his, shall we say, weight group, morbidly obese. Trump then hit back, not because she'd inadvertently taken a dig at fat people, but because she's, quote, a sick woman with mental problems. Pelosi disagreed.
So I was being factual in a very sympathetic way. I said, he's our president. We don't want our president taking something that could be dangerous, as the scientists have said it could be. If he takes offense at that, well, I could take offense at a lot of things, but they don't really mean that much to me.
To which presidential candidate Joe Biden said, if you can't vote for him, then you, quote, ain't black. And Trump had the last word, announcing his new favorite U.S. military program was going to develop a new defense system called, wait for it, Super Duper Missile. No, seriously, the Super Duper Missile. Don't believe me?
I call it the Super Duper Missile. And I heard the other night 17 times faster than what they have right now. Then you take the fastest missile we have right now. You've heard Russia has 5 times, and China's working on 5 or 6 times. We have one 17 times, and it's just gotten the go-ahead. 17 times faster, if you can believe that, General. That's something, right? 17 times faster than what we have right now.
Which I hope for Melania's sake also describes her future sex life. And now this, the TV series Smash, which only ran for 2 seasons on NBC, is getting a musical makeover and might be headed to Broadway. It has powerhouse producers, including Steven Spielberg, a built-in fan base, and songs such as "Why Did This Get a TV Pilot?", "Our Ratings Are in Hell," and the toe-tapping "Please God Stop." In health news, researchers have found that 42% of us are eating less fresh and more packaged food of late. Sales of frozen pizzas have doubled since the COVID-19 pandemic began, and ice cream sales are up 36%. According to instructor of nutrition Carly Liguri from the University of Pittsburgh, this is because stressed out people tend to eat more and show a greater preference for high-calorie foods. She says that while there's nothing wrong with indulging in comfort foods, a health-conscious diet can be a productive part of reestablishing normal routines. She also said that, quote, "a delicious slice of rich chocolate cake can be just as good as drugs." So there's that. Meanwhile, actor Richard Madden is sheltering in style in a luxurious Los Angeles mansion that rents for nearly $25,000 a month. And he's doing it with a hot quarantine bud, according to the Daily Mail. The hunky Game of Thrones star has apparently hit it off with Teen Wolf star Froy Gutierrez. This guy here, and according to a source, is, quote, "pleased to have company while stuck inside." Note the wording, stuck inside. Madden has never disclosed his sexuality, saying, quote, "I just keep my personal life personal." Probably the same as this guy here. And finally, this morning in our new segment called "I Can't Keep This Shit Straight," filmmaker Francis Lee is walking back his call for a boycott of Amazon Prime after it turns out that the streaming service did not, in fact, remove a gay sex scene from his film, God's Own Country. Lee claims the naked noodling was removed by U.S. distributor Goldwyn Films and that Amazon is restoring the film to its former glory by adding the hot hunk humping back in. So just settle down, Queens. You can watch these two get it on for just $119 a year. That's like 20,000 rolls of toilet paper right now, people, with a gallon of hand sanitizer thrown in for good measure. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, if you want to read these stories in advance every week, just head to edgemedianetwork.com. I'm Lance Collins, and have a great week.